Thank you for joining us. In a major escalation and violation of the U.S.-brokered ceasefire, Israel has killed at least 20 Palestinians in attacks across Gaza on Wednesday. Israeli drones and fighter jets are filling the skies over Gaza City and Khan Yunis, making movement on the ground increasingly dangerous. Artillery shelling has been reported in Khan Yunis and at least 2 neighbourhoods in Gaza City. Israel has continued its attacks despite the truce agreement that came into force in October. The Palestinian Red Crescent says one of its medics was killed while evacuating wounded people from al-Mawasi. Emergency crews say access remains extremely difficult as strikes continue. Meanwhile, medical evacuations remain severely limited. Israel briefly suspended coordination for a third batch of Palestinian patients leaving Gaza through the Rafah crossing before resuming it later in the day. Israel has blamed the World Health Organization for not submitting the required coordination details. There's been no response so far from WHO. Let's get an update on the situation in Gaza from Tariq Abouazoum. He's joining us from Khan Yunis in southern Gaza. There seems to be an uptick, Tariq, of the Israeli attacks on Gaza. Bring us up to speed with the situation on the ground.
Yes, Folly, definitely. There has been a significant sense of escalation being recorded across the whole strip over the past few hours. We saw that Israeli military conducted a series of airstrikes, in particular on al-Mawasi area. The site was hit twice by Israeli planes, where makeshift tent has been reported, struck without any prior warning, where 2 Palestinians have been killed in the strike and 10 others were reported injured. And among the victims was a Palestinian paramedic affiliated to the Palestinian Red Crescent Society. That is the organization that we are standing in front of its gates at the moment. And that attack brings the total number of Palestinians being killed since midnight to 20 Palestinians, including 14 of them killed in Tuffah and Zeitoun neighbourhood in the eastern communities of Gaza City. This shows that the escalation is still ongoing and there is any sense of respite in terms of Israel's pace and momentum of airstrikes and artillery shelling. Israel, from its end, justifies these attacks to be a response to the military and security incident took place earlier this morning in the northern areas of Gaza Strip, where an Israeli reserve officer was critically wounded and transferred to the nearby hospital in Israeli territories to receive medical treatment. Yet this claim has not been supported by enough visual evidence, but that has been the main reason why Israel is launching and waging attacks on people who have been really struggling from the repercussions of 2 years of genocidal war. Until now, we can see an active movement for Israeli drones and fighter jets, which signals further and potential attacks to take place in the coming hours.
Yeah, extremely concerning, this uptick in attacks. What's the latest on the Rafah crossing, Tariq? Israel had set a certain cap on numbers of patients who were allowed to leave Gaza and the numbers also coming in. Where do these things stand as far as people being able to leave to seek medical treatment?
Well, earlier this morning, the Israeli military has suspended the departure of the third batch of Palestinian patients to receive treatment abroad and justifies this suspension to be as a result of lack of data provided by the WHO on patients who are expected to leave. Then later, after 3 hours, the Israeli authorities have notified the Palestinian Red Crescent that they will be reopening that coordination in order to allow for patients to leave this trip. And we saw in the past 10 minutes WHO vehicles arriving to the Palestinian Red Crescent Hospital in the city of Khan Yunis, and patients have been flowing into this area in order to get ready to be evacuated. Yet the number of patients who are expected to leave today remain uncertain, as no further details were released by the WHO for now. But preparations on the ground are still ongoing. Buses are inside, along with 2 vehicles affiliated to the WHO, getting ready to leave Gaza as soon as patients will be completing the initial procedures to leave this hospital and to make their journey out to Rafah crossing.
Thank you very much for the update. Tariq Abouazoum reporting there live from Khan Yunis in southern Gaza.
Don't miss out on the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and excellent insights. Like, share, stay ahead.